Hi, I'm Amy from the Ross Farm, and this is Melinda of Bossmare Sharing. And we just wanted to come here with you for a moment to update you on what's going on with us. We have had a little bit of trauma this week, additional trauma on top of losing Drew in September. On Monday evening, about 11 p.m., we lost our big barn that was built in 1910 by my great grandfather. It was the icon of our property. It was the first thing you saw when you came up the driveway. It said Ross Farm 1910 right on the front, and all of our ewes that were due to lamb in
12
days
days.
were inside the barn. It was a very, very, very rapid fire. A cousin of mine drove by at 20 minutes after 10 and saw nothing out of the ordinary. And by 11 p.m., it was fully engulfed. So we lost the flock, we lost the barn, we lost all of the sheep handling equipment that was in the barn. We lost our hay wagon, we lost our hay, we lost our grain. We had just had a ton of grain delivered for our expecting mothers and the new lambs that were going to be arriving very soon.
All of my shearing equipment,
All of her shearing equipment.
my children's feeding goats, which were also bred, but I was keeping with the flock just to keep an eye on them.
And it's been a really difficult time for both of us and for our families and our friends. And we are just so very, very grateful for all of the help that we have received so far, whether it is just a little quick message saying, I'm thinking about you, sending you hugs, praying for you. We feel that. And all of the folks who have donated through the website, the GoFundMe, we appreciate it so much. And all of the folks who ordered through the website, we are completely overwhelmed with orders, and we will get them out as quickly as we possibly can. We were not at all prepared for hundreds of orders in 48 hours because we don't get hundred of orders in a year. So this has been
Boggling, mind blowing,
the
chaos.
the the best
The best version of chaos.
the best version of chaos, and we are getting everything organized to pack hundreds of orders. And we've had to order more packing materials because we did not expect the response that we got. We are so grateful to all of you for just showing us that little bit of support, even if you can't be here with us. We are we are really, really grateful because the insurance only covers actual cash value of a 116-year-old structure, which is a tiny fraction of what it will take for us to rebuild. And the insurance also provides absolutely nothing for the livestock. So every skein of yarn you buy is going to help us to not replace but repopulate the the ones that we've lost. We both had very special girls that we can't really ever replace. And you know, my Cheviot flock was just a flock of Cheviots, but they were the descendants of my favorite sheep ever, 219. And if you've ever had a class with me, you've heard stories about 219 and her mothering abilities, and I've lost that. And we're also extremely grateful for everyone who has reached out to offer us our genetics back, and the people that my son or myself have helped to get started in rare breeds who are now reaching out to us to send those genetics back home once we have somewhere to put them. We do have other barns on the property, but we want to get the big one rebuilt before we start again with the sheep. I'm hoping that will be sometime this summer. We are looking into a lot of different scenarios for the replacement, but
Budget is the budget.
budget is the budget, and budget is what our constraints are right now. We are also a historic farm on the National Register, so we are trying our best to purchase a rescue barn, purchase
Yeah.
a historic barn in our area to be dismantled and moved to our property and rebuilt there, so that it is a little more cohesive of a historic rural landscape. We're very much cognizant that an aluminum pole barn is not going to do it
No,
on the property. It's
it would
not,
stick out horribly.
and it's our barn was more than 2 stories tall. The first floor, of course, was where the animals lived, but the second floor was equipment storage, and the third floor was haymow. So it's going to be a matter of finding exactly what's right for our property. And also, I want to thank the crew that is at the farm over the last few days, burying our girls. They were born on our farm and they died on our farm. And we insisted that they be buried on our farm. It's what was right. That's what what our barn looked like before the fire, and you'll see it's quite large. So that is going to be something really difficult for us to replace or even just rebuild. It's not, it was built by my great grandfather with his own 2 hands. There were square-headed nails in the barn doors that my grandfather made in the blacksmith forge on our property. So I've lost a link to my past, as well as the barn for our future. So it's just been really, really hard for us, and we're grateful to everybody who's reached out to send us animals, to send us hay,
Shearing.
to send her
Shearing.
shearing equipment. We are going to be doing Carolina Fiber Festival, Nash Yarn Fest, and Maryland Sheep and Wool. I will still be judging the Fleece Show at Fayette County Fiber Festival, and judging and teaching at Black Sheep Gathering in June. And the UK tour of rare sheep breeds is very much still on. My mother would not tolerate, my mother has been gone 14 years, she would not tolerate anything less than picking ourselves up by our bootstraps and moving forward. So,
Same on my side. Shearing will still go on. I'm reaching out to friends and clients for sheep for demos that had already been planned, and we've tried to. We almost have lock stock for running of the wools in Washington.
we've had a couple of young people who my son mentored, the Grace, the little girl who got our Youth Conservationist Prize. Cheviot's has volunteered part of their flock for running of the wools, and Austin, one of the young men that my son was mentoring in the sheep field has volunteered his flock of Cheviots, Shetlands, and
Tunis.
Tunis, that we've gotten him started in, for also for the running of the wolves. So the running of the wolves, we are absolutely 100% in. We have also committed to do some demos at historic properties with both sheep shearing and traditional wool preparation and spinning, and that will continue. Everything is business as usual. We just don't currently have sheep or a barn. We should mention that our ram flock, oh, that's bad. I'm sorry.
Yep.
That's what was left after the fire. Our ram flock was in the
The
back barn, which we call the new barn because it was built in 1933, and that's far
newer.
far newer than our 1910 old barn. But the ram flock was back there, so all of our rams are still hale and hearty and ready for next fall to give it another shot. Yep, and
The mini
Melinda's
don-
horses
and the mini donkeys and
are
Ruth.
my mini donkeys, and Ruth, the American milking Devon cow that was my son's pet. They are all perfectly fine. And our little miniature pony, Jenny Cakes, the Disney reject, she is still with us as well.
Her and Oops are
She's not really rejected. She was spirited.
She was too boisterous for
Yes, she's a sassy lass, and so she came to live with us, and we love Jenny Cakes very much. She's a mini horse, little teeny tiny thing, and she is now in a serious and committed relationship with her quarter horse.
them. No, it's the Arab thing.
Oh,
It's Mr. Oops.
oh,
It's
with
Oops.
her Arab.
You know, you have to go for the
I mean, if you're gonna
Exotic.
go for the high dollar one, yeah, you don't want to be
they're
you don't want to be stuck with some run of the mill quarter horse. You got to go
No.
for the Arabian. Got it. Yeah, so they're all very well, and that's why we're so grateful for the hay. Everything we had to feed the animals was in the barn that burnt. So we have had several people just show up with hay.
just drop off hay.
Just
and
drop off hay,
I
drop
can't
off
help-
food.
I can't thank them enough.
Yes, we had somebody just coming down the road with a skid steer and a track hoe, and
What do you need
we
me to
were
do?
trying to figure out how we were going to get cleaned up, and because there's a law in Pennsylvania that anything that passes away has to be buried
That's a
or
USDA
disposed
law.
of, USDA, within 48 hours of their death. So by 11 p.m. yesterday, we had to have everything buried, and the building is still smoldering. So they came in with all of their equipment. They found all of our girls, and they have been laid to rest on the farm. I couldn't see them going to the landfill. I couldn't do that.
Nope.
Nope.
You stayed
There
here,
are girls,
and
and they're staying.
I was told not to come to the property.
Yes, we were sent here to the studio in Ohio, while the menfolk clean up the mess because they don't want us to see the things. But I've just gotten a report that the barn is about 85% cleaned up, and
All the girls are
all the girls have been laid to rest. And I guess the next step for us is
trying to figure out how we want the barn to look and
Yeah.
go from there.
looking to see what we can find in the way of post and beam timber frame barns of historic nature that are in danger of being knocked down in our area, and hopefully save one of those to come and live with us, and then paint it white and put a red roof on it and call it Ross Farm 1910-2026, I guess. Actually, we've decided that we will call the new barn the Drew Ross Manco Memorial Barn, because I'm actually really glad that he's not around to see the barn and the sheep,
Yeah.
because if he wasn't already dead, this would have killed him. And so now we have 12 pages of 12 pages of pick list for all of the orders that we have to get out. And yes, all of the things. All of the
All of
things.
the things.
All of them.
I've been running around the warehouse for hours at this
Yeah.
point.
We've spent the day just trying to pull 106 of this and 44 of that and 48 of that and 38 and 35 and 34 and yeah.
And then
And then-
twos and ones and tens.
Yeah,
and
12 pages. 12 pages of
Sharpie stole my hair.
stuff. We are so grateful. So grateful. And whether you have purchased something through the website, offered us assistance with sheep or equipment, shearing equipment,
supplies.
hay equipment, whatever it is, donated through the website. I swear I smile just as wide for the $5 donations as I do for $500 donations. And the thing with us is we are both really, really, really bad at asking for help.
I'll do it myself.
Yep, because we are perfectly capable of doing everything ourselves.
Get out of my way. I can do this.
Uh-huh. And so it was really wonderful for Aram to set up the GoFundMe, and for Roy Clemis and our webmaster Isaac at our IT
Website, yeah.
company, which I have totally lost the name of. But anyways, Roy and Isaac got together the day after the event, and with input from JC Boggs and Danielle Romanetti at Fiberspace, they put together the donations site on our website. Yeah. And told us that that's what we needed to do. So we are super duper grateful for everyone who
All
has
of it.
reached out to help us, and especially the firemen and the EMTs, because the firemen from Cokeburg and Lone Pine,
And was it Ritchieville?
I think so.
I don't know. There was
All
five.
all of the
there.
firemen in our area descended upon the farm and kept that fire from spreading to the other barns and outbuildings and the house. So we are forever indebted to the firefighters in our area. And I've
an
already
ambulance and chair.
an ambulance and chair for taking care of her, because she did collapse in the driveway while it was going on. And I'm very grateful to them for keeping her safe, because I can't do this without her.
I was a little stressed out.
It's a little bit stressful, I get it. So yes, we are very, very grateful to everyone who has helped, everyone who has sent a note, everyone who has just called and texted and messaged and just dropped us a line and said, hey, just checking on you. I know you're busy. I've tried to go through all of the posts and love every one of the comments, because I do. The comments are what is getting us through right now. All of the people saying, oh my God, my heart breaks for you, because I've buried my husband and my son, and this is the hardest thing I've ever done, because 5 generations of my family have touched that barn, and that was my link to all of them. And they found my weather vane, and that's one of the things that I was most worried about. I don't know why, but my mother and I repaired the weather vane when they put the new roof on the barn 25 years ago, and she and I worked together to strip and refurbish all of the weather vane and all of the lightning rods that were on the top of the barn. And I just needed to find it. So I know it's stupid, I know it's silly, but when you've lost everything in that barn, just finding that one little thing is...
Yeah. I think DW is on the look for hinges and stuff too that we could reuse and stuff.
because most of those were made by my grandfather in the blacksmith forge. So, anyways, we just wanted to record really quickly and let you know what's going on, and that
We're,
insurance sucks,
insurance sucks.
and
Firemen are awesome.
firemen are awesome, and I will be working the fish fry at Lone Pine for the rest of my life to pay them back a
Same.
little bit for everything that they did to save the rest of my farm and the rest of my livestock. I'm sorry. So follow us on Instagram at the Ross Farm. Follow us on YouTube at Ross Farm Fibers or Bossmere Shearing. And you can get in contact with us at info at the Ross Farm and Facebook at Ross Farm Fibers or Bossmere Shearing. And
Thank you.
thank you all so much. Thank you for your prayers. Thank you for your love.
Thank you for all of your support with the business to keep us going.
And we will be at all of the shows, and I will be teaching, and
Keep on keeping on.
nothing short of a bullet's going to stop the two of us.
Or
So.
unruly Shetland.
Or an unruly Shetland.
Still salty about it.
Oh, yeah, she was a handful, but we loved her. So, until the next time, we'll see you.